For tonight, a hit-miss shower, mostly cloudy, and lows in the mid-50s. Sunshine returning for Thursday with gusty east winds. High temperatures warming to the upper 70s. Dry during the day Friday. Could see some thunderstorms returning by Friday night. That's KCJJ weather. Right now, it's 64.
See, normally I would have played that right out of the news, but I've been off today. I'm Tommy Lang. It is noon. It is Wednesday. That means it's time for Senior Talk, which is brought to you by the Solon American Legion and Senior Benefits. And now here is your host, a man who is not having a bad day today by any means, Mr. Rex Branstatter.
Hi, Tommy, and that's because the Los Angeles Dodgers are 2-0 right out of the gate against the expected buzzsaw in Milwaukee. And the buzzsaw, I think they've been drinking too much Blatz up there because they didn't have much going. So not counting the old chickens yet, but we've got a 2-0 lead, and now we get to go back to Chavez Ravine. So looking good for the Dodgers. Not wishing any well wishes at all to the Brewer fans today. Not till afterwards. They might win. That's the story. Yes, Rex is back. Thank you so much for putting up with me being gone. My wife was in total support of me being out of town for a week. It must be vacation for her, I guess for me. Listen, folks, it's greetings and welcome from Senior Talk. Great day to be here with you, and a great day to be a senior, that's for sure. Hello, and thank you each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy day, and see if we can't cook something up here on Senior Talk. This is for seniors, seniors gonna-bees. Nobody will want to be, but senior gonna-bees. And we do our best to come up with some ideas that might be helpful to you, might be helpful to family members, might be helpful to friends, the guys down at the coffee shop, your ladies, and someone in your groups, at church, all those types of things. It might just stir some ideas up that would help them along the way being a senior on whatever topic we talk about. I do my best every week to bring a lot of ideas that might be important. You have to decide which ones could help you, for sure. And you can call me anytime to say, can you expand on that or expound on that anytime you want on anything I talk about. I'm at 319-330-5534. 330-5534. That is my senior line. So why don't you just grab yourself a chair, a sandwich, and an ice cold root beer, and let's see what we can cook up. My name is Rex Branstatter. I'm a 76-year-old real estate broker. And I love to work with seniors, and we meet with seniors, talk with seniors, deal with seniors. I deal with estates, I deal with administrators, executors all the time. I deal with trust departments of banks. Call me and say, Rex, Mr. Smith has passed away. What do we do with his house or his properties and things like that? That's what I do, and I can help you. I think we'd have to talk. Maybe I can, maybe I cannot. I would tell you one way or the other, absolutely for sure. So just give me a call on my senior line, 330-5534, and we'll see what we can do. That's the fun part of it all. And you don't have to, it's not an emergency, usually. Most usually it's not an emergency. Maybe you just want to know roughly what your house might be worth, or what did the house down the street sell for, because mine is just like it, although they're never just like it. That type of thing. I can offer you those type of things. Well, I am back here in the KCJJ studios after what I call a business meeting in northern Wisconsin, and I guess the answer is yes, the fish were biting, if you have to know. They really did. I'll tell you more about in a minute. During this trip, I did learn from several unknowing fellow seniors that I was actually overhearing their conversations, and I just enjoyed myself with my party I was with and my cousin, and we overheard a lot of things. And the seniors up there in these places they were all talking about the Packers, of course, things like that. But the more we sat there, the more we listened. They're all talking about Medicare and health, and they have to go to the doctor this afternoon. They're pretty sure they're covered. They don't know what their deductible is. It's ongoing, whether you're in Iowa City or anywhere you're at, or in northern Wisconsin, as this trip was, on the same concerns that we all have. Absolutely. So, speaking of Medicare, the window is open from October 1st, until December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. The window is open for you to change to change your coverage for Medicare. And if you need it when you're 65, you don't have to do anything. You'll get bombarded in the mail. You do need to sign up for part A and part B. Part B, you need to sign up for that. That's the hospitalization section of that. You could stay on the one at work. That's fine, but there are some rules that they have to play by. in order to make sure that their program is qualified. And part of that is they have to have 20 people on their program and offer certain things, and so you need to talk to someone. So you need to talk to, who do you talk to, Rex? I don't know who to talk to about Medicare. Call your insurance lady. Call your insurance man. They'll know all about it. They'll refer you to someone if they don't. And that's how you get started. And they can sell you an Advantage plan. My wife and I, we have an Advantage plan. We seem to like it. It's all about things. The ads you see on TV, you can call them if you like. You can get better service, right? Friendlier service, hands-on service, face-to-face service with somebody right here in town if you call your insurance lady or insurance man this afternoon. Get with it. If you're going to make a change, you have until December the 7th. So that's what'll happen. Don't delay. And if you're just turning 65, you'll be getting cards and letters in the mail, as they say. And you have, I think, 60 days before and 30 days after your birthday to sign up for Medicare. And it's you get into a giant pool, and then you can go your own way, but you have to sign up. Does it seem to you, and we fellow seniors, we just can't keep up with the computer this and computer that and cell phone this and that. You have to have an app for this or an app for that. I got to tell you, I have to tell you, it's a chore. And it's a chore for me that thinking all your business can be done on a telephone in your hand. I was recently downtown Iowa City, and I pulled in on a university campus, by the way. I pulled in order to park there, you had to fill out an app of some sort, sign up so you could park in a parking place. And so I just backed up and went somewhere else. I'm not doing that. I can't do it. I just don't need to take all that time out of my life to sign up for this app or that app. Gone so far as I order Iowa football tickets, and I paid extra to get them printed. The university has the audacity to charge you more if you have tickets, so rather than just put them on your phone. The last game I was there, so people couldn't get them on their phone, so there they sat outside the stadium. Not exactly what I want to happen. That's why I get paper tickets. So that's just me. Everybody, the rest of you could probably work those things like magic. I'm okay, but I'm not a pro. And the more it's on there, the more it gets me. You can tell. Wow. Well, everything was going good on our little fishing trip. We fished in a crappie tournament on last Saturday and Sunday, and we didn't win. By any stretch of that imagination, we don't go there to win. We go there to have fun, and we did. Caught a lot of nice crappies, anywhere from 10 to 12 inches, and those are nice ones. And you can see them pull them out of the cold water up there. We found them in deep, deep cold water because it's been very hot up there in northern Hayward, Wisconsin. We fished in tennis shoes and T-shirts, shorts, every day except one. And then got down to 28 degrees. So they prefer the 28 degrees, those boneheads up there in northern Wisconsin. They prefer the 28 degrees at night and 50 degrees during the day than they do. It was 88 degrees up there. They're not made for that up there. They are. They're just not. So we did fine. We enjoyed ourselves, except for one experience. In the morning we go down. We use minnows and a hook and a minnow. That's our exotic as we get, and we catch a lot of fish. We went down to the local bait shop, and on the way back, we hit a deer. Does that sound possible in Wisconsin? Well, 2 deer just came storming out of the bushes at about 8:30 in the morning. I mean, and the road up there aren't any gravel roads in Wisconsin, so to speak. Very, very, very few, very few. So it's a blacktop road, and the deer just came charging out of there. And we hit one of them pretty head on. He bit the dust, and the other one turned around and ran back. But that's a normal trip to Wisconsin. The truck we were in is okay. We're okay. Damage up front, about $3,000 damage to my cousin's truck, and we got back okay. But that's no fun for the deer for sure, and no fun for anybody else. But it is what it is. So I guess no trip up there is you got to be always. They're standing around on the side of the road by the day in the daytime. You just never know. So that kind of took away the shine for a little bit. But at least we didn't get hurt, that's for sure. As a senior, because I can't relate to this, but I talk to other seniors, I'm sure you are trying to adjust to your schedule of busy grandparents. You're in the grandkids mode and all their activities. You might be in charge of picking them up at school from certain days, or taking them on certain days, or taking them to the doctor's appointments on certain days, or different things, because Grandma and Grandpa, you're there to help. And sometimes I'm sure you think, what are we thinking? But then again, you're thinking, well, it's for Johnny or Sally, your grandkids. So that's just good for you. I'm saying good for you. I know it gets to be challenged sometimes. sometimes I think your kids, your daughter, your son, whoever has the kids, kind of maybe rely on you too much. I'm not a parent, so therefore not a grandparent. Kind of rely on you too much, but I don't hear many grandparents complaining. So more power to you. My thumbs up to you for that. And I know the kids in school, their schedules are not easy to keep up with. You're probably getting run ragged. You always wonder, how did you have a job? Because you had to, how did you hold down a full-time job knowing you had all these grandkids to shuffle around town? Good for you. Have at it. You do what you want. So where do you want to live? I'm asking. Where do you want to live? Not where do you live now. Oh, we live on Main Street, Rick. Where do you want to live? In your present location, maybe you want to live in Florida or Texas or Arizona or Idaho or Maine. I don't know. You know that. So let me ask you this: where are seniors heading in this United States? Where are the seniors heading? You'd be surprised to know. Get this: you'd be surprised to know that less than 25%, so we'll call it a quarter, of seniors leave their current state. And only 30% move more than 25 miles from where you're sitting right now. Do you follow that one? Only 30%, so 1 out of 3, would ever move more than 25 miles from where you're sitting right now. Wow. So that doesn't exactly say that everybody's going to Florida or everybody's going to Texas or everybody's going to Arizona or California. It doesn't say that at all. It just says that 30% of us won't go more than 25 miles from home, for God's sake. Well, if you're going to stay at home, that's great. That's what everybody's goal is. As a matter of fact, I would go so far as to say stay at home and or stay in your present location. Nobody wants to go how am I going to say it, to a location, to a senior facility. They're there, and they'll be there someday if your health allows you, doesn't allow you to do anything else except go there. They're there. In the meantime, we don't want to go there, for sure. So it's another reason for you to make sure that where you're living now is in good condition. Do not cheat yourself. If you need new kitchen lighting, call a kitchen lighting guy. Call a contractor and have them come out. If you need new carpet, call the carpet people, a couple of them, and get their, not only a price, but get their opinions. Get some opinion. Well, you know what we usually see? Many times we see people do the hardwood over here or the man-made hardwood here, and they do carpet here. We can blend that in here. I was in a house the other day that had carpeted bathrooms, carpeted kitchens. For seniors, I see that a lot. I don't see it for younger people much. But there's all kinds of scenarios. Why cheat yourself? You need a lighting update. You need a kitchen faucet. If your refrigerator is on its last legs, folks, or your stove, don't mess with it. Take care of yourself. Go look in the mirror. That's the person, number one, to take care of. Number one, that person you're looking at in the mirror. And a lot of you take care of everybody else except yourself. And that's kind of the American way. Boy, we got to help the neighbor out. Boy, a guy in church, he needs our help. That's fine. But how about you? Can you make changes to help you? It's your retirement. It's your living setup, things like that. You need to do that. You need to take care of yourself. I'm a big believer in taking care of yourself. All right? Truly, truly. If your house needs it, if your car has issues, things like that, get busy, take care of it. Do it. Do it. All right. Another state people are going to, or are they going to? Well, going to North Carolina. The hottest thing going right now is North Carolina. But every time I see it on the news, it's because they're having a hurricane on that Outer Banks down there. It's very nice there, and the weather is mild in the winter, which is why a lot of people go there. My observation, if you're going to make a change, is to go to wherever you're thinking about. Well, we don't know whether we want to go to Arizona or Florida. Well, go spend 2 weeks in each one, or a month in each one this year. Maybe 2 months, a month in Florida this year, and a month in Arizona this year. Then you kind of get yourself acclimated to how you feel about it. One's dry, and the other is moist. It's a totally different kind of different atmospheric type things. More your surroundings are different for sure. One has trees, one has sand and sagebrush. It's all different. So rather than just charging right in one place or the other, or Texas or Oregon, wherever you might think you might want to go, is to go search it out. And I say go rent for a while. Rent a couple of weeks just to get the lay of the land. A month. That's not too much. Go somewhere for 2-3 months this summer and winter, and 2-3 months next winter, and give yourself some time to figure it out. Don't just charge it. And some of the other things, it's not just weather. It is not just weather. Make sure that you do some research. You can do it online on your computer if you do that, or you can call an investment guy, lady. Make sure you research things on income taxes, state taxes, not estate, but state taxes. Now, estate taxes could also be a factor. Speaking of that, if you move to Arizona, we're moving to Arizona in order to become an Arizona resident. We're going to talk about that really shortly here. You need to do some things. We're going to talk about that shortly. You want to find out if the state you're thinking about moving to taxes Social Security. Does Iowa tax your Social Security? Now, we get a check in the mail, or I've never seen a Social Security check. Goes right to our account, I guess. I've never seen it. So what? Does Iowa tax Social Security? The answer is no. Iowa does not tax Social Security. The federal government is now not going to tax some other things too. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. The federal government taxing Social Security, that's never was a good plan. We've already earned that money. Now they're taxing it once we take a check. We've already earned it and paid taxes on it. Try not to get started with me here today on that one. But the federal government is going to change the taxes on how they handle taxes on Social Security, and it's going to be in our benefit. That is for sure. So before you move to another state, I want you to research and find out all about how do you tax my IRAs? Do you tax my 401k? Do you tax what's your income tax or your state income tax? Do you have that? What is the sales tax? If I buy a new car, what tax would I pay? Lots and lots of things to do rather than just weather. Weather is part of it for sure. We understand it. All right. Certain people in the news are being charged with fraud or whatever on buying a house. You read that? You read about this? Let's talk about that. We're going to talk about that. There are certain people, I'm not talking politics here, certain people, and if you do the homework, either party probably have people do the same thing. At the present time, a couple people are under fire for making a loan application, getting a mortgage, and stating that this will be their primary residence. Maybe you have done that. Yeah, let's go ahead and buy the house, and then we're going to keep it and rent it out. And you did that because this. Here's the reason why. Banks are set up to be a real estate lenders. Most of them are, and they're dedicated to lending money for you to buy a house. Shelter, the number one investment, shelter for you and your family. That's what they really, really want. It's considered to be a safe loan, a good investment that should appreciate and will provide shelter to you and your family. All right, that's what banks are set up to do. That's what they want to do. Competition for them to get customers is fierce. You know, this bank has that down payment. This bank has that interest rate. This bank has this program. Closing cost wars, I call them. Interest rate tweaks. They're usually about the same, but there's some tweaks in there. Special loan products, 10-year loan, 30-year amortization, all kinds of different 10-and-1s, 7-and-1s, 3-and-1s, 5-and-1s. Kind of Greek to you, but it's in the real estate business. You could call me. I'll explain those things to you. So let's think about the bank's position here. Here they sit with the money. Now, you realize that banks loan you the money, but in most cases, they sell that loan. They package up 50 loans at a time, 100 loans, and they sell them on the market called secondary market. So there are investors, lots of them are the federal government, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. They buy loans. They buy loans. 100 loans they'll buy from Hills Bank. 100 loans they'll buy from the old Midwest One. They buy loans. That's how they make their money. So the banks get paid to service your loan, and so at the bank, let's say that they loan you $150,000 at 6%. The bank's going to make $9,000, aren't they? Well, that ain't hay. That's not hay, as they would say. Well, maybe they loan you $300,000, and now they just doubled that. So you are a very valuable customer to them. If they sell the loan, then they get less than that, but they get money for monitoring your progress. Okay, it just kind of depends on the loan for sure. So here you come to get a loan, and you're going to go down to this new house in North Carolina, and you're going to walk into a bank down there and say, hey, we're going to buy a house here, and this bank is happy. They are happy as clams. But in home lending, you're from Iowa, and you're going to go down there, and their top priority is to loan you money for a home to live in. So you want a loan for a second home out of your state. That's your thing, is we're going to go down and buy this house down there. We'll live down there 2, 3, 4 months a year, and so the banker asks you. Now, here's what's going on. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, is this going to be you're going to live in this house? This is going to be your primary residence. And you kind of look at each other and go, yes, it is. Okay, well, our rate today, I'm going to pick a number, 6%. Well, what's the rate like if we wanted to make a rental? Well, that's going to be 7.25%. So immediately you're drawn to the 6%, even though you're going to tell a big fib that you're going to live there. Well, you are going to live there. But guess what? You also have a loan back home in Iowa, if you have a mortgage, that when you made that loan out, you probably told your banker, yes, we're going to live here. Not only that, you probably filed homestead exemption at we're going to call it the Johnson County Courthouse. So now you're getting special tax preferences because you're getting money. If you're a senior, you're getting about $7,500 off your assessed valuation because we're seniors, which relates back to a tax savings. You told the bank, yes, you're going to live there, and now instead of a 7.25% loan, you're getting a 6% loan. You're getting a break. Well, you can only do that once. Some of these people in the national news, they're doing it 2 and 3 times. You have to live somewhere in order to do that. And if you want to buy this house in North Carolina and call it your home, your primary home, you have to live there 50% of the year plus 1 day. That determines where your home domicile is. Well, if you do that down there, then you have to go down there and file for a homestead down there. I assume they have it. I don't know. I don't live in North Carolina. But you do in Iowa City. You have all that stuff here. So these people who are doing that are fiddling just to save money on mortgage payments and things like that. Exactly what's going on. So the banks know that you want the loan for your house. Okay, they know they know that you need a loan for your house. You need a loan so you can get a house for you and your family. On the other hand, you want to buy a duplex or a second home. The bank sits there and it's trying to go, they don't need this loan, they want it. So therefore, we can charge them more interest. Bankers are they're pretty funky. They want money. That's the way they're set up, and they have rules. So on the application, in 99% of loan applications, it asks this question: is this going to be your principal residence? Yes or no? If it's not, you're going to pay more interest. If it is, pretty routine, you're going to pay less. And this happens every day right here in Iowa City, Johnson County, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, anywhere you want to go, all the time. Don't tell this big lie. You could be hit with mortgage bank fraud. Right now, you could be hit with mortgage bank fraud. If somebody wants to rat you out, and it won't be me, I don't have a mortgage. But if you do that, all these things can come. The banks can start reviewing their loans and drag you in. I mean, this is what's going on. So those people who are doing this, they've been caught. We'll see what the court says. That's it. All right. In order to make a home your principal residence, you must live there 50% of the days of a calendar year plus 1 day. You may have to prove your mail that you live there by your mail, your utility bills, things like that. You can't hide from them. They'll track you down. They just will. That's the scoop. So play by the rules. That's all you have to do. It's all you have to do. Because I guarantee you, back home, you told the banker, "Yeah, this is my principal residence," and you also signed up here for a homestead exemption, things like that. So it's tough to fool Mother Nature on this one. You can't have it. You can't have two of them. As a senior, I'm asking you, if you're a senior, do you have financial responsibilities for your adult kids? Are you still bankrolling your adult kids? Okay. Are they capable of working? Are they capable of getting a job, but they're a little bit slow on the draw here to get a job because you are bankrolling them? Well, it's your choice. I'm not going to interfere with that for sure. It's your choice. I'm just not sure your folks would have done that for you. What do you think? All right. Are you overseeing and financing your grandkids? That comes a little softer for you because they're your grandkids. Are you loaning money or helping other relatives? My brother or my sister-in-law, she's had it kind of rough. And I know she's got this car payment is only $347 a month. I'll do that. It's only got 2 years to go. Are you doing that? It's your choice. More power to you if that's what you elected to do. But let me ask you the question. Are you endangering your own retirement? Are you endangering your own lifestyle? Remember what I talked about earlier? Take care of yourself. Here you are helping your sister or your sister-in-law or your brother or anybody like that with the house payment, or going to help pay them to fix the garage door. That's entirely your choice. If you can afford it, have at it. But what if you have the money, you really don't have the money, and you're endangering your own retirement plans? I think you may think about that, folks. Think about that. Now, if you just heard what Tommy said earlier on the news before we were introduced, I was so eloquently introduced by Tommy, is that the Social Security Administration has not set on, it's either going to be 2.7 or 2.8% increase. But since the government is quote shut down, they're not working. And actually, I think things are going quite well, but I'm not there to provide a service that needs a check from them, all right? So I can't say that some of you may be in trouble because of the shutdown. That could very well happen. So we don't know how much we're going to get. Before this government strike, I'm calling it was 2.7 or 2.8% increase on January 1. All right. Let me ask you another question. Do you have to keep working when you had planned to retire to meet financial needs of yourself? Do you have to keep working when you had planned to retire to meet the financial needs of yourself and your family? Are you still working because you are helping your brother-in-law pay off his car? Are you still working because you just can't tear yourself away from helping your parents, maybe? And you have to kind of be tough there, because careful there, because your parents raised you and hopefully most likely supported you. You can't say no, but I'm warning you. I can't say that. I am suggesting that you sit back, think about what you are doing if you're doing this, and see if you can minimize it. How's that sound? All right. Well, let me ask you this. What you got going on, is your plan working? So whatever you're doing with your brother-in-law to help your sister fix the garage door or get the house painted, is that working? Does this all work for you? Is your retirement plan working? By golly, I'm working part-time at wherever it might be, at the paint store. I love it. I love it. I love it. That works for me. I only work 3 days or half a days a week, and I have my other investment income or Social Security check. Investment income, we don't need as much as we used to, blah, blah, blah. I sold this, sold that. Is your plan working? I hope it is. I hope the answer is yes. Because a lot of people get to the end of the work cycle in life, and lo and behold, you only get to retire on what you put together over your years. So the younger you are listening to Senior Talk, the younger you are, the more it behooves you to go get a good retirement plan going. Knowing in this day and age that Social Security will be there most likely, but it might not be in the amount and or form that we know now. Okay? So my guess is it's all going to get settled here, but I think within 10 years we're going to see some big changes if that doesn't bother you, that's okay. But if you're younger, get busy and plan on your retirement. Absolute words of wisdom. Right out of my own mouth, words of wisdom. How's that? Who'd have thunk that? All right. Well, I got a call from a friend of mine looking for winter storage for his convertible. I said, well, good for you. I noticed a convertible. He said, I need a new place as the current place is raising their rates. And I didn't say, I don't know how much he's paying now, but the current place is raising their rates. So he and a lot of other people have old cars and no place to, quote, hide them during the winter. This is pretty typical. You get buy a car, and then pretty soon it's going to snow, and you don't want to leave a convertible for sure sitting outside. You don't want to leave any old car, even a brand new car. In my opinion, that's why you have a garage. Get it in there. Hey, let's talk about that. If your garage is so full of your stuff that you can't get a car in there this winter, that's not, folks. That's not right. You got the rowboat in there. It's been in there for 6 years. You got some of the stuff stacked on top of that. You haven't been out in that boat for 9 years, and yet you let your car sit outside in the winter so you can scrape snow because that stupid old boat's in there. Oh, no, I'm stepping on toes, but that's a scoop. So take care. Get organized. How's that sound? So he said he's looking for a place, and I don't really have. I gave him some ideas on how I've helped him people in the past. It reminded me of a story when I was a kid. My grandpa had a brand new, and if you're a car guy or car people, you'll know what I'm talking about here. This was 1959. This story came from. I remember it all my life. He had a brand new 1959 Cadillac Sedan DeVille 4-door hardtop. This car was about 2 blocks long, and 1959 Cadillacs were still to this day, it's the largest car with the biggest fins ever made by General Motors. This thing was a tank. It was a really, really light mist green, and the 4-door hardtop means you could put all 4 windows down, and there was no post between them. So, folks, this was a cruising car. If I had it now, it was seafoam green, kind of a light green. It was a beautiful car. And he had a lot of money. He was a rich guy. Great, nice guy. Biggest fin car ever built in America. So I was with him one day, and he pulled into a gas station, and he told the attendant. Did you hear what I just said? He told the attendant. He didn't get out. He told the attendant to fill it up, which was normal. Remember all that? Yeah. So the guy did, and I remember the guy had on a shirt and a pair of pants. He had a kind of blue pants on, a white shirt, and he had a blue hat on. I mean, it was an official gas station guy, all right? The guy filled up and gave, and Grandpa gave me the change from a $10 bill. And I got over $2. So he filled up a 1959 Cadillac, and he wouldn't have pulled in there, I don't imagine, unless it was at least half empty. So he filled that big old car up for $10. I got $2 in change, and I thought I died and went to heaven. I said, gee, Grandpa, it sure costs a lot of money to fill up this car. Yeah, he lost less than $10. And he said these words. Here's what he said to me. It made me think when I talked to my friend with the Cadillac. He said, I drive the car I like. I drive the car I want. And I also drive any car even if I don't need it. But all this works for me. So he's driving the car he likes. He's driving the car he wants. Even if he doesn't need it, it works for me. So that's kind of my theory. When I bought several old cars, I just tell my wife, well, I'm going to buy a car that I like. And I want to buy that old car because I want it. And I don't need it, but it's going to work out well for me. And she just rolls her eyes because she just gets out of my way knowing she can't stop me. So far, I sold a couple of them. Now she's probably feeling better. I'm entranced because I've sold a couple of them. So anyhow, that's the story. So it just kind of gets me that people don't make arrangements, because you have to make arrangements if you're going to have an old car collection, a type of thing like that, or motorcycles, whatever you may have. Make arrangements because you don't want them outside. We all know that. Not anything you don't need. All right. I want to refer to the weather because I don't know what the weather's going to be. I haven't paid that much attention. I just know that Saturday night it better be nice at Kinnick Stadium. 6 o'clock is kickoff, so it better be nice at Kinnick Stadium. At least not raining. That's my theory. As long as it's not raining, that's what I call a nice day. All right. Seniors use the internet more than any other age group, and I'm talking 65 and older. Seniors use the internet more than any other age group. And men, if we happen to reach age 65, odds on favorite says we'll make it to 84.3. That's the men's living age right now. All right. Women, if you make it to age 65, you'll make it to 86.6. So that's pretty standard, as we all expect. Not that people won't last longer. I understand that. These are the national averages for sure. Seniors over 65 visit the doctors 3 times more often than people in the age group of 22 to 44. Seniors over 65 and over, visit a doctor 3 times more often than those people 22 to 44. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Just our lifestyle, just our bodies, start all the strain on stuff like that. Start going downhill over 65, we'll say. Some later, some earlier. 23% more women than men are age over 65. 23% more women than men are over 65. Women compile 57%, seniors, by the way, 57% of U.S. seniors. Women comprise 57% of U.S. seniors. So we'll call that 6 out of 10 seniors are women. Wow, I didn't know that for sure. Seniors account for 40% of all prescription drugs. Seniors account for 40% of all prescription, but only 15% of the U.S. population. So, seniors in the United States rack up by 40% of prescriptions, but we're only 15% of us are over 65. Wow. So that kind of shows you the strength of being older and your chances that you're probably going to need some meds. The older you get, the more meds. And this is, Rex didn't think this up, folks. This isn't brain surgery. This is just the way it goes, and we just kind of put some numbers to that. So I will tell you, I'm glad to be back in the confines of town. Had a good time, except for hitting a deer. But the good thing, it was not my car. His little run-in that knocked off the license plate in the front bumper. It's a $3,800 deal, by the way. Yeah, glad to be back. Good to watch baseball again. Got hockey this Friday night. Heartlanders are playing hockey. Get out there. Hawks are home Saturday night. Take on Penn State. We shall see on that. They're in turmoil over there. We'll see if that travels with them here on the gridiron. Let's hope so, for sure. Well, the greatest secret in life is this. We never know how long we're going to be here. We just don't. And I mean here also, not just here physically, but here upstairs. Living with full faculties is what I'm saying, or maybe living with no faculties. We just don't know. Stroke victims, accidents, dementia. We just don't know how long we're going to be here. Knowing that fact, it is very important that we do all we can while we can. So whatever you like to do, go do it. Whatever you always wanted to do, as long as you can do it, go do it. Get going. Because the real bad part about this is too late may come too soon. Oh, we were going to do that, but it's too late now. Martha fell and broke her hip. Oh, darn it, we were going to walk this trail. We were going to go to Des Moines to do that. We were going to go to the Arch in St. Louis. And now we put it off too long is what it amounts to. Too late may come too soon. So at this point in this show, it's been my pleasure to be here at Senior Talk. Thank you to each and every one of you for attending today. I'll be back next week, I hope. Thanks to all veterans. We all know how important they are. Those who are already served and those who are serving, we all know that. Thank you to each and every one of you. So, thanks for listening. I have a senior line at 319-330-5534. Give me a call anytime. We'll talk. We'll see you next time. So long.